All right, so one of the things that I noticed that hasn't been reported on yet is a company called Esports, which is a company that's based out of California. And what they do is they create this entire gaming center where it looks like a casino. It basically looks like a cross between a casino and a cross between like a large scale arcade room, except they're all computers. Now, this would be in downtown Tacoma, and it would be in the Tacoma Town Center. Now, keep in mind the town center is going to have several retail projects that they are planning. And of course, above the retail will be apartments and condos and things like that. But below would be higher end, they claim higher end luxury retail stores and eating establishments and things like that. Well, remember I said that there's two bookends in downtown right now in terms of entertainment. Now, there will be a trifecta, but right now there's two bookends. You have Mcmenamins, which I did a video about that, and it's going to be amazing. And that's going to deal with a certain crowd of people. Then you have, which I'm one of those folks. I'm actually a part of all three of these groups, to be honest with you. I fit in either one, in any of them. But Mcmenamins, looking extremely forward to that. And then you have the Tacoma Town Center. What makes this project really stand out is they want to have an eat, live, and play atmosphere. That's a big thing, especially with millennials. I'm not really a millennial. I'm a little too old for that. But I'm on that cusp. So there's a lot of things that appeal to me, and there's a lot of things that just doesn't make sense. But the whole live, work, play thing, I love. And one of the components to this is to have a esports arena. Now, in Spokane, they have one that is there. Now, there's no press releases on this. This is just on the town center website. The developer, the company that is building this facility, not the construction company, but the company that owns this building, they have listed this as one of the companies that's going to come there. Now, as I mentioned, Spokane already has one of these. And as far as the number of centers, they're mainly on the West Coast. Let me do a quick check here. I know that Colorado Springs has one, Santa Ana has one, Orange County obviously has one, and that's pretty much it. Let me see, did I go too far? Roseville, California has one. I think I went too far. Bear with me, folks. And I'm going to put a link in the description box below so that you can go and check out this company and you can see what I'm talking about. But you get the picture. This, now, first I would think this is kind of strange. I mean, it's cool. It's a cool concept. And when you see what it's like inside of there, it literally looks like you're going into a casino. Like when you go into a casino, you see the purple lights and you come in and, there's someone usually there to kind of greet you. And then you pan around and there's like little slots where you can buy shirts and all types of swag, and then you go into the main area of a casino and you have all that stuff. Well, this is kind of like that. And then you have all of these high back chairs. They're designed for you to sit for a very long time, very comfortable looking chairs. And you basically have all of these monitors everywhere. Then you have the area that's the true arena, where it's this huge area with these big, massive screens. And then you have a load of people that are in there playing games. Various games from Fortnite to whatever. They play individually, and then when there's competitions and tournaments, they play together or against each other on the big screens, and then people can go in there and they can watch, right? Now, if this truly does happen, the two bookends I'm talking about is going to add a tremendous amount of vibrancy to downtown Tacoma. Like, if you go to downtown Tacoma today, it's a little boring. I mean, it's a lot boring, let's face it. But when you add Mcmenamins in there and the concepts they're wanting to add, which is going to be spectacular, and it's going to appeal to people because Mcmenamins is mainly, it doesn't have a lot of concepts other than it is a hotel, a boutique hotel. It's got a very unique spin and a fun atmosphere for people. They typically go into historic buildings. They do have new builds that they do and stuff like that. And there's going to be restaurants on, looking out over Commencement Bay, which is going to be spectacular. It's a great place for people who are my age or older that have a little bit of money, right? Because Mcmenamins is kind of pricey. But not all other stuff is pricey, right? The rooms are sometimes. And, the drinks and things like that. So it appeals to a certain demographic. It's not your everyday 22-year-old that's going to be really hitting it up, right? I think, obviously, a lot of people will because, it's going to be new and that type of thing. But a lot of the people are going to be in their 30s and 40s and older, which is totally fine. This particular facility, if esports does come to Tacoma, that appeals to a huge range of people too, from teenagers all the way up to people past my age, right? In fact, I'm actually getting a gaming computer. Noella's getting me a gaming computer for Christmas because I still play a lot of computer games, believe it or not. Love them. So that appeals to a lot of people, right? Then I did a little bit of digging, and about this time last year, a company out of Sweden called DreamHack is opening or has opened two of their, they've opened an office in Tacoma, downtown Tacoma, actually right there on Pack Avenue. Now, Pack Avenue, Pacific Avenue, and where the town center is going to be, the exact location of DreamHack and the town center, you literally can walk there with traffic within 5 minutes, right? And DreamHack is a company that basically hosts online game tournaments. I mean, these are huge events that basically last for several days, and it literally, people are staying in every hotel around the region. Like it's almost like a huge gaming convention, right? Now, this is a company that has opened an office here and also opened an office in Denver, Colorado, as there are only two American headquarters. And the reason why they chose Tacoma and not Seattle, because they were looking at Redmond, is because Tacoma is by far more affordable, has a large population, has the university here, has a lot of tech here, and it's close to Seattle, and it will be able to pull that talent from there. Because, I mean, it's a tech company still, even though they host a lot of big events. Now, the question is, would they come to something like the Tacoma Dome, which is a huge facility, and the Tacoma Dome is capable of handling such an event. It's got the correct amount, because these type of tournaments have a tremendous amount, they require a tremendous amount of bandwidth, right? Because, I mean, these are all online, internet-connected type games. And when people are playing their games for money, I mean, there's people who make a living off this. They want to make sure there's no interruptions. Well, the Tacoma Dome is capable of handling that. Even prior to the renovation that they just now finished with, it was capable of handling it back in the day. And now that it's been renovated, it makes it even more appealing. Now, the company said last year that they have no intention on bringing it here yet, but they have listed locations in big cities And I can't remember off the top of my head the big cities that they are going to have tournaments in. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Yeah, so the last time they had an event, it was in Las Vegas, and it was a Counter-Strike game. The person, game teams in the world, and basically they split a pool prize of $450,000. Their event in Austin in May drew more than 24,000 people, with up to 2 million people watching the live stream. I mean, they're big events. So their office in Tacoma could grow to up to 20 employees. The cost of housing and office space was a reason why they did not choose Seattle, and they chose Tacoma, but they liked the fact that they were close enough to Tacoma. They will host their events in Austin, Atlanta, Montreal, and Denver, all big cities. But they said Tacoma could be an option because they just didn't know enough about the area, right? Denver's their other office in America that they're having their American base, and Denver will host one of their tournaments. They didn't know enough really about Tacoma in terms of the fact that Tacoma Dome is here. It's one of the largest arenas. And so given that, it's more than likely that Tacoma Dome would host one of these massive tournaments. So given the fact that basically an online hosting company put one of their offices here last year, and they're growing quite tremendously, and they host the type of things that Esports does, then the fact that the town center will have this large arena inside of one of their retail outlets. Again, I'm going to put the link so you can go and you can see what this is about. It's going to really and truly make Tacoma hot. It just is. I don't see anything that Seattle has that can compete with these two things. And the third bookend that I talked about, where I said, I can be a part of all three of these things: Mcmenamins, the town center, this esports thing. And the third thing would be Top Golf. If Top Golf is approved, and I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be approved. They were the only company that bid for the entertainment district. It's 11 acres, so they were the only ones that had bid for that piece of property. The city would have to basically say no and get back on the drawing board again and try to get a company in there to go and put an entertainment venue. Keep in mind, Top Golf has been dying to get here. You add in Top Golf, and you have a trifecta, right? You have an area that literally from the Tacoma Dome district, which is it's still downtown, but it's over by the transit hub. Then, and that's another reason why this company had mentioned that, they're interested, because it's close to a transit hub. So you have Top Golf that will go in right by the Tacoma Dome. Then you have the Tacoma Dome itself, which hosts huge events and concerts. I mean, every big act you can think of goes to the Tacoma Dome. And people from Seattle come down anyway. Then you have, up from that, the town center, which will basically have a lot of different types of retail and places to eat and all of that type of stuff. And this esports arena thing, which will be packed with people. Packed. There's not one anywhere else in this area. Then you have Mcmenamins, which will also be a huge draw. And these are all things that will last late into the night. So this would really and truly change downtown Tacoma drastically. When I told people Tacoma's your better bet of buying a house versus Seattle, people didn't believe me. They thought, again, they look at Seattle, which is an amazing city. I can't think of a city in the United States that has a better skyline, in my opinion. And you look at Seattle, I should say comparable size city. I mean, Chicago and Boston and New York, they have great skylines. There's plenty of places, Philadelphia. But Seattle has a spectacular skyline. And people see the glitz and the glamour and everything about Seattle, and this is what draws them there. But the cost, the sticker shock, is impressive. And Tacoma is always considered to be kind of the bastard, right? No one really wants to live here because of past stigmas. But businesses don't really see that. So now the price of houses are going up steadily here. I mean, they're not going up as fast as they were. Some areas, like in this particular area, they're still going up. Other parts of Tacoma, they're going down a little bit. In Seattle, it's a free fall. But now people are saying, there's a lot of stuff to do. There's a lot of fun things to actually do in Tacoma. Downtown, within a very short distance. You have a very small area here. All of it will be connected via the light rail. That's not talking about all the different businesses that are coming. There are several businesses now that are coming from Bellevue. A lot of investments coming from Bellevue, from Seattle to Tacoma. I haven't even touched that part yet in terms of the retail that is already here and that's being planned. So, and the light rail, and just now if you go downtown, they're tearing up the streets now to expand that. So literally, these places would all be connected. Now the town center, you have to walk a little bit, but big deal. But they all would be connected using the light rail system. From Topgolf, the Tacoma Dome, the town center, the museum campus, which is right there, University of Washington, Tacoma, Mcmenamins, all of those will be connected using the light rail system. So anyhow, if esports does come, it's going to be a huge, huge deal. It's a big, big deal. It really does liven up. It really does liven up downtown. I mean, right now you can go down there and fart and no one would laugh at you because no one's out. You know what I'm saying? I can't sleep. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. But I can tell you that if you went downtown right now, there's no one else around. Maybe the occasional homeless person roaming around, but other than that, nope. You're not going to find anyone out. Maybe you have a few office workers coming in or, support staff. But other than that, nope. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If esports comes, you heard it here first. I told you that they will be coming to Tacoma. I think it's going to be spectacular. I'm going to give you the link to their YouTube and also to their regular website so you can check them out. It's going to be amazing. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. And until next time, I will see you. Take care.